minds think alike. Great Minds Podcast. Great minds think alike. Great Minds Podcast. Great minds think alike. Great Minds Podcast. Great minds think alike. Let's rock. You're now tuned into the Great Minds Podcast. You're now tuned into the Great Minds Podcast. You're now tuned.
All right, welcome to the Great Minds Podcast. This is Derrick.
This is Vaughn.
And we're here with J.Arrr. What's good, fam?
What's going on?
What's good? How y'all feeling?
Man.
We good, man.
Pleasure to have you.
Pleasure getting having you on, man. So just a brief introduction to J.Arrr before we get into episode, man. Talented hip hop artist and producer from Wilson, North Carolina. So J.Arrr is on the way for sure, but we'll tap in a little bit as we go through the episode. So man, salute again, man. Appreciate having you on.
I appreciate you, man.
All right, J.Arrr, I guess tap into a little bit of your background. I know you're from North Carolina. You say you have family in Jersey, stuff like that. So tap into your background a little bit.
Yeah, I'm from here, born and raised, man. Been around a little bit. Moved back 2016, and I've been just doing the music thing I've been doing it since like 05, really. I was just producing though when I started out. I had a couple of friends who were, pretty nice at rapping, and they just didn't have beats. So I learned how to make beats, self-taught engineer,
okay,
videographer, all that. So we were doing, little projects here and there, and I used to write all the time, but I would never record. Like I ain't like my voice. I didn't want nobody to hear me, rap and whatnot. So I wouldn't get on tracks. Or I'll wait till everybody leave the crib, and I'll record something. I might let somebody hear it, like, and they be like, yo, why you ain't let us hear this, man? Like, so one day I just forget it, man. I just, started putting stuff out.
Yeah, let it fly, right?
People start taking to it. So now we here. So.
Word up. I could think about, let people know about that North Carolina upbringing, because I told you before, I got family down in North Carolina. So I know about Wilson. I know how it goes. And growing up, people used to think that was the South. To me, I didn't include that as being like down South to me, because you still have that up North feel. When you go down there, I mean, it is spread out, and now they're building up more and more and more stuff. But how was that upbringing as far as even you hearing the music you was hearing? You were hearing a lot of different music.
Yeah, I mean, it's certain areas where it's definitely the South. You can tell, but like you said, in the the bigger cities, it doesn't feel like it. It doesn't really, you don't get that vibe. These smaller towns like Wilson, we got some areas where you can definitely tell it's the South. Man, we got some people here who will give you that vibe for sure.
Definitely.
But it's all, it's a small town, man. Everybody pretty much knows everybody. We have a lot going on for it to be such a small place. But it's a whole lot of talent here, man. And I've heard we got we have a lot of versatile artists here. So you hear some of everything. Even with the R&B and all that, like you might country, everything. I mean, you hear some everything.
You know what's so crazy about being down there too? Because when I used to drive down, taking 95, going through there, I used to love to. This is before satellite radio, so I used to love to switch the dials and hear the radio station was popping down there, because you would hear more well-rounded stuff. So like you would hear a little bit of everything when I would come down there. So I'm not sure the station that you guys get. You guys get Foxy 99? Is that something that's kind of close? You do, right?
Yeah. I think it's either 99.1 or 99.7.
Yeah, 99.1. It's something like that. Yeah. I used to always go and hit that, and I used to always hit everything. So I always think that, like down like in North Carolina, you guys have a melting pot of artists too, and music that comes through there. So I can tell it in the artists that come out.
Yeah.
Are you still tapped into the producer side?
Not really, man. I do it here and there, like it's occasionally, man. I used to sell beats and whatnot, but I stopped. I got more into the rapping, and I've just been doing that. If I need a beat and I'm trying to get one of my, producers to make it for me and they bullshitting, then I'll do it myself. But,
let me get behind
knowing
this
how
real
to
quick.
do it. That's where a lot of the recent, like my recent tape I put out, I produced that. Produced the Beautiful Grazer,
Yeah, I was
Ransom.
gonna mention that. What if you can produce like that? The Beautiful Graves beat is ridiculous, right?
Yeah,
The intro, I tweeted you about it too. The Flowers joint is crazy.
yeah.
Why would you not want to produce? Like, you don't have to worry about paying people, or you got it.
For real.
Why would I not want to produce for me? Or
Or
if like,
just
period.
like, why do you? Yeah, I guess, like, why wouldn't you want to produce more of that? Like, I feel like what you put out, from what I heard, is fire.
I appreciate it, man. I don't know, man. When I was doing it, it was like it kind of turned into a job for me, and I lost the love. You know what I'm
All
saying?
right,
Yeah.
yeah, and I get that.
Yeah, just like with the music, I was on the verge of just letting it all go, and I had a conversation with Ransom about that, and and a few other people that I was close to, and I kind of changed my mind about it. But when things like start feeling like a job, it kind of turns me off. So
Yeah,
um, that happened with the producing. So now I just do it. I might hear a sample that I want to chop up or something like that, and I just do it just for fun. Like I just did a track that I just posted recently, and I shot a little video for it, just messing around really, because
Yeah.
it was a practice verse. Like I was just practicing and practicing my chopping and everything and sampling. So yeah, sometimes they just turn out and they turn into songs or whatever. So I do that. I do that a lot, and but it's all out of love. Like it's nobody, requesting it or
Yep.
trying to pay me for it.
well, they
And
should be.
I, yeah, I do. I mean, I do get requests and people, asking, but I just be like, nah, I don't produce like that. Man. I just,
Got you. No, I understand, man. It's just like it's just like anything. Like, if you don't love it, like, you really shouldn't be doing it then. You know what I'm
right,
saying? Unless it's something you
right,
need to do to get by or something like that. So I feel that.
Yeah, and I can see how you're saying it's like a job too. And I also think that for any artist, if you're into it and you're doing every single aspect of it, it sounds like it's great. But also it's a mental part to that too. So
yeah,
people might you're stretching yourself so thin with certain things, and it could be something that you're seeing that someone else ain't seeing. So I can hear like, yo, that's perfect. You're like, nah, it ain't perfect. It ain't ready to go.
yeah,
So you're working more and more and more on it. So when you take yourself out of it and kind of say, all right, I'm gonna do the lyric part. I'm gonna get the producer.
mm-hmm.
He or she's gonna see it a little different than you would. It might help you
Yep,
your process faster.
yep. And I got some dope producers, man, that that rock with me, and ever since linking with Rand, it's been a whole lot more that they've been reaching out to me on social media, and I just been accepting emails, beat packs and whatnot, just taking them all in. I'm trying to get everything that I got going on right now, trying to get all those albums and projects done, and then I'm gonna tap in with those other producers. But it's been interesting, man.
So
No doubt.
how you link with Rand? Like, Rand right now is, in my opinion, he's having the best year out of everybody. He's having the best year that I've seen in a long time. And I mean, we
Yeah,
Jersey guys, so we definitely rotting
right,
with
right.
that. And I think for him, like, he's posting you, he's crowning you as next up. Like, that's huge. That's a huge stamp of approval with everything that's going on this year between, like, Griselda and Trust
Yeah.
and everybody's going on. So I think that's a huge cosign. How'd you link with him?
Um, he actually reached out to me in 2016 when around the time when I was giving up. I was actually overseas. I was in France. I was hooping.
Okay.
And yeah, he reached out to me and asked me to feature on Broken Promises on the Greatest Rapper Live album, and I did that one, and then we did we did another track. So then when he got ready to do the 1%, he hit me up like, yo, I got, 2 tracks I want you on. It's like, bet, like I'm with it. I've been listening to Ran since high school, so like 05, you know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
18 days.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's been my favorite rapper, for years. So for to have him reach out to me, it was kind of crazy, kind of surreal.
That's crazy. Yeah.
No doubt.
Yeah.
So you jumped over that very, very smoothly when you said when I was playing ball in France, like
something like he was playing 3-on-3 in his backyard.
Or like I was in the backyard playing. You jumped over that. So
humble flex. Yeah.
So can you describe that transition? So what position did you play, and that whole ordeal going to France and then stop playing all that stuff?
Yeah, I'm a point guard, combo guard, but I went over there to work a camp with Frenchie. It was called Frenchie U.S. Camp. Like he brings U.S. players over. It's like a tour. So we went to maybe like 8 different cities. So it's like an 8-week thing. Every city, every week you're in a different city in France. The first week, we finished like the end of the week. You play against the team in that city. So. Okay. The group I was with, we blew them out like 103 to 55 or something like that. And that team wanted me, but I didn't know until later on in the camp, and he told me. And I ended up going back to the team when the camp was over, and I just started playing. And I played a couple games, and I broke my ankle. So that's really, I came back home, and I was just, I was kind of, down about it. That's about my first love and everything. And I just started using the music as an outlet more. It was already an outlet for me, but I started using it even more when I couldn't, hoop like that, like I wanted to. So yeah, that's how that played out.
Okay. Yeah. I used to coach basketball for like 11 years. And I'm like, okay. I'm looking through your page as we, prepping for the episode, whatever. And I hear you talk about hooping a lot in your music. Yeah. I'm like, I saw the pic of you sitting on a car. I'm like, yeah, if I was coaching, I'd put this dude on top of a 1-3-1 zone. Had this guy trapping the first pass over the top.
Yeah, that's my thing, man. I love defense.
What was your game like? A combo like a Dame Lillard?
I get that a lot. People say I look like the nigga, but I don't think so.
But, that's what made me think that. Keep it 100 with you.
Yeah. I would say, I don't know, man. Offensively, my favorite player was always Jamal Crawford. So I used to be kind of flashy. Yeah. But I was super athletic. And I got a crazy wingspan for my height, and I focus first on defense. So that's I can score, but I love stopping my man from scoring. Like
that's dope.
Because what's the point of dropping 30 if your man got 29? It's like you got 1 point.
1 point. That's it.
Yeah. So that was my even in college, like it was my first. That was my role. Like I took on that role as a Tony Allen type, Pat Bev. Like I love them. I love them type players, man. Gritty.
You liking up?
Bradley. Yeah. I love that. So yeah, that was me.
So growing up in NC, I know how it go. So who you riding with? So who's your squad college team in NC?
Oh boy.
I don't pick sides. I don't even take sides, man.
Oh, you only take sides?
Talking about UNC, Duke, NC State. Yeah.
He a UNC fan. He wanted you to ride with him.
Okay. Yeah, my pop's a UNC fan.
Now the thing is though, J.Arrr, I be telling people like being up in the north, a lot of times they don't understand that rivalry, what it really is. I'm like,
crazy.
Like it's crazy. Like you really got to pick a side. It's like to the point where like, so you neutral. I'll get that.
Yeah.
Either like you state, like if you state, it's cool. I ran into Julius Hodge one day at the barbershop up in Jersey, and no one knew who he was because he had just got drafted by the Nets at the time. Right. And he's sitting in the chair getting a cut. I'm like, yo, what you doing up here? He's like, yo. I'm like, yo, Julius Hodge, right? He's like, yeah. I'm like, yo, I'm a UNC fan. He said, "Oh, it's all good. We just hate Duke." He's like,
yeah.
He's like, UNC cool. He said, UNC cool.
Because they on the outside looking in. They ain't really part of that part of the rivalry anyway.
But it's real. So I always try to tell my people up here, like, yo, it ain't just picking a team, bro. Like, it's like a lifestyle.
It really is, man. My lady, man, she's a Duke fan.
Oh, got you.
You know, every time, you know, it's a game, you know, I hear it. Yeah. Even if I ain't watching, like I hear it. So
you hear it.
Yeah, man. It's wild. It's wild out here.
I want transition back to rap. You seem like you're a little bit younger than us, but who were I know some of our influences, at least mine from North Carolina. You got Rhapsody, obviously. I think is nice.
Yeah,
Little Brother.
She's the Little Brother. J. Cole. Who are some of the people from the area that kind of influenced you, or you know, somebody you tapped into when you getting into rap?
From the area, I would say Little Brother. Ninth actually.
Ninth,
yeah. First, because I was just producing. You know, I used to study Ninth.
Right.
Actually met him at a college here. He came and did a little seminar or whatever. Ninth, Little Brother. Those are pretty much my main artists or whatever that I listen to from here. Coming up, as far as being an influence, everybody else was from other, you know, places like Elzai. I used to listen to a lot of Elzai, of course, Ransom, Blue from Cali.
Okay.
Blue and Exile. I used to listen to them a lot.
Oh, they're a group,
I still
right?
do.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you could say that. Yeah.
I know they put an album out this year.
Who else? That was pretty. Lupe. It was one of my. You know, I listened a lot of Lupe. When it came to, you know, inspiration or whatnot for writing, if I listen to one of them, it's like I could listen to them and I could hear different things. You know, I might jot stuff down in my notes just off listening to them. So those were, you know, the main artists when it comes to that.
Definitely, I can tell throughout your music too. We're hearing, like, you know, the EP in previous work. I can tell your flow is very melodic, and I think that the thing is also about being in the NC. And I always say that, Derrick, and I spoke about this before with other rappers besides coming from the Northeast, because sometimes we have a stranglehold on things. We don't want to look at nothing else. Like, a guy come from New York is not good, or a guy come from it's not good, right? But when you're outside that area and you're tapping in, and you say you're in NC or you in the Midwest somewhere, you're hearing everything. You know what I'm saying? So you're hearing everything. Everything's coming in. So you can say, I like a rapper that's out in Cali, and take a little bit of that. I like a Lupe from the Midwest. I like, you know. So do you think that where you actually was brought up played a huge input, you know, part in your music career right now?
Yeah, I think so. And I try to listen to everything. I've always been like that. I try to listen to like everything. Try to like gospel, jazz. I love jazz, gospel. You know, hip hop, R&B. Try the country. You know, a little bit. But it's it's like I said, it's some dope songs or whatever. But I don't. You know, I stick mostly to, you know, the gospel and I was brought up like that anyway, but I stick mostly, you know, to the gospel, the hip hop, R&B, which is, you know, that's by default kind of.
Yeah. I think jazz is huge. I think when you do gospel, like, you can kind of tell that by like the soul samples you touch on. Like, if you're in gospel, is like gospel music is so much different when you're actually in the church. You know what I'm saying? You're sitting in church, you get the chills listening to some of that stuff you hear. So I can see how that would influence you a little bit. I want to tap into one of the lines you had. I can't remember what song it was, but it was something to, like, you were seeking approval for, you know, people that was in neutral. What was that? What was that part of your like that? I felt that, you know what I'm saying? That's something, that's growth.
That was on
right
Flowers, actually.
Okay.
Just trying to, I guess, you know, wanting to be accepted, I guess, you know, by the people in my area.
Right.
Because even, you know, it's a lot of different artists here. Not many. I don't really know many that make the type of music I make.
Right.
True.
You know, so, but I'm always, you know, when they reach out to me, I'm always willing to work with anybody. Like I rap on anything. I don't mind. But when I make my music, it's just what it is, and a lot of people, you know, I just, you know, felt like it was being overlooked or whatever, and that was kind of eating at me. I'm like, yo, like they don't think I'm nice or something, like, and you know, I just, you know, that's what that was about. But
Yeah.
now, I mean, I don't even care, you know, to be honest.
Yeah, that's growth. I think I think it's a fine line between like I don't care what people think to like sometimes you just know something you got is nice and you got to figure out who you want to accept opinions
Right.
from. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? Because
definitely
like
as you grow. Yep.
because you got people that'll be like, "Oh, that was whack," but they don't offer what you could have done better. Like, yo, even if you don't agree with it, you at least know they tapped in enough to offer you a suggestion. Other than that was whack or that beat was whack. Like, all right, well, let me know. Like, well, were the drums weak or you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, you know, was my flow
Be
off
opinions,
or
man.
empty opinions. Yeah. So that's dope, man. That shows growth.
Yeah, and I also noticed with your music that it's very personal too. I know the track on the EP that you have. You know, I think you were talking about your cousin. You know, yeah, and I think that was dope because I kind of got that too. What you were saying, so it's kind of like, well, what makes you want to tap into that to keep it real personal? I know 'cause some people kind of like stray away from that sometimes, but it seems like stuff that you're talking about, it really is really hitting home to you. It's therapeutic.
It is very like I said, it's an outlet for me. And I talk to him often, you know, multiple times a week. So I let him hear it too. You know, he rock with it. So it's like, because I wouldn't have put it out, you know, if he didn't. But
definitely,
yeah. I can't. I don't know, man. Like I can when I do features and stuff for people, it's like I can tap into making whatever to fit the song, you know, but writing whatever it will fit the song. But when I do my own music, like I can only make what I feel. So that's where that comes from.
and that's why you feel the realness in that. So I think that's why people are gravitating towards you because they get that. I think now is the time where like realness in music is showing. So no matter if you say country, R&B, whatever it is, those are the people that are winning because people really want that, especially what's going on right now.
Right.
Yeah.
And
I say it all the time, you know.
You got.
Now I was about to say, you know, I say all the time, like when people ask me, you know, I say, you know, I make the music for me. It's therapeutic, you know, for me. And if people like it, like people rock with it, that's just a plus. Like
That's
that's
cool.
amazing to me. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's a plus. And you know, the fact that, you know, a lot of people are rocking with it now is it's just amazing to me, man. Like I really can't explain like the feeling.
Right.
Yeah.
So I want to talk quarantine rap, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think back to Vaughn's point when he was saying how like, you know, people are seeking that realness. Like you got people that like lost jobs, you got people that you know going through stuff, people
loved ones,
trapped in the house with their spouses too long, realize they don't like them no more, because they only used to see them from like 5 to 8. Now they locked in all day, stuff like that. But the first party, I want to say the first quarter, I was talking to my man. I used to be like, yo, what's up with music? Like I thought music was weak for that whole first quarter. Like there was a couple joints in there here and there, and then it got to the point where it was like so much music, and I was able to you know, just tap into a lot of it. How did quarantine, I guess, help or hurt you as far as music making?
Well, it shut me down. I was working before, you know, I was working. I was like, I wanted to get my time back because the job I had, it was just, you know, 12-hour shifts, rotating shifts, and it was constant. Like we would work 7 days and get maybe 1 or 2 off and then start the next shift. Like, and I didn't really have time to, you know, write and really sit with the music because I get home, I'm tired or I just don't feel like doing it. And I was always saying like, yo, I got to get my time back. Like, so I was trying to find a way out of there anyway. And,
Right.
you know, then you know, the quarantine, the job I had shut down. I haven't worked since March. Like, I ain't planning on going back, to be honest. Yeah, like I'm not planning on going back. You know, I found other ways to make money, so I'm good on that. And yeah, like it was kind of a blessing, you know, in disguise, because I got all my time back now. I'm my own boss right now, so it was pretty big for me.
Can't beat that.
For real. So where do you see yourself going with this now for its future? Like, what's your future goal, your music aspirations and goals as far as that's concerned?
I want to work with a few artists. You know, I like listening to. Really, I just want to keep, you know, being able to create at a high level, and a consistent level. So that's my main thing, and not just putting music out to try to make money and all that. Which I mean, that's why I think is so much right now.
Right.
But I mean, they got to make it somehow. People ain't touring and all that. But yeah, that's pretty much it for me.
That's dope.
Yeah.
And what's you got a full length working on a full length now, right? After the EP.
Yeah, I actually got a couple more EPs. I got one that's dropping January 1st, called Solstice. That's super soulful joint, man. My homie Nitro produced it. He's out of Charlotte. He plays in like jazz bands and whatnot. But the production is crazy soulful. I got a joint with Craven. That's gonna be out next year.
A full joint?
Nah, it's an EP.
I mean, he's doing a whole joint though.
Oh yeah, it's already done.
We know it's gonna be crazy.
Crazy.
Yeah, that joint is. Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
nice.
That's gonna be fire.
I got a tape with my brother, King James, called The Outliers EP. We gonna drop that. So like I said before, I was trying to get all this stuff out of the way so I can, you know, start working with other producers and start working on, you know, a full length LP.
Okay, that's dope. So Derrick and J.Arrr, I wanted to kind of get you guys' opinion on this. So I was thinking about this for the past couple of weeks, and I didn't get the right person to ask about this, J.Arrr. So it seems like in music, what we're seeing now, you have a lot of like these young guys passing away, young rappers, you know, from King Vaughn to my man out in Dallas. I think it was Hot Boy Mo. It seems like, you never hear about other genres this happening to, and it seems like us, meaning in our hip hop rap, you don't hear about R&B, you don't hear about country, you don't hear about rock, and I'm trying to figure out what's the reason that being a rapper is one of the most dangerous jobs in the world. So I'm thinking, is this something that we're putting out? Because you can't say always the environment, because there's R&B cats that come from the same environment and they're not getting in that stuff. So it made me think, and I was really trying to figure this out. Is it the content that we putting out?
I think so.
So when you
I think if you speak something, I think words are powerful, right? So I'm speaking words, and whatever I speak out until it's gonna come to fruition sometimes, right? So I'm talking about shooting, I'm talking about doing this, I'm talking about doing that. It seems like it's happening. And I wanted to see how you guys felt about that, because it's getting tiring. I'm sick of seeing it on TV.
And they all young too.
Kid, they're all young. And by young, man. I mean, you know, they're in their 20s, some might even be teenagers. And it's like they didn't even live their life yet. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I really can't get it. And is it something is it because the sales is coming with the violence of making certain songs? You know what I mean?
I'll let J.Arrr tap in. I just want to say this real quick. I think it's the content. When you're saying like country music, like nobody's running up on a country singer, because he's not talking about, I got these chains, I got these bricks. They ain't saying all of that. They trying to get their girl back. You know what I'm saying? So ain't nobody running down on that. I mean, but you got people that listen to the music and be like, all right, this dude said he tough. He said he got the hammer on him all the time. What's good?
They want to see.
Let's press him. Like, let's see. Yep. I don't know. What do you think, Jay?
Like you said, man, I think it's the content for sure. But you know, people love that type of music. And like I said, I listen to it myself. Like I listen to
Definitely.
all that stuff.
Right.
But yeah, at the end of the day, you got guys who see the flashy lifestyle and they ain't got nothing. And they like, yo, if I ever get a chance,
I'm running down.
I'm gonna get this nigga. Like, and you know, it's. I mean, unfortunately, it's common in hip hop. Like, I don't know, man. I just be, you know, every 2020 been crazy, man, because we've been hearing something different. Seem like every day.
For real.
Yeah. I just be, you know, I try to stay as safe as I can. Like I ain't flashy anyway, you know, but a lot of people where I'm from, they are a lot of the artists, you know, they portray this and that, and there'd be similar situations here. They just don't make the news and stuff.
Yeah.
But I definitely think that's what it is, like the content and that flashy lifestyle, man.
I want everybody to stay safe because, like, I remember I seen something. K Slay said it best. He been saying this for a while, but K Slay was like, "Yo, this the drug game, man." So it's just like the drug game. So everybody came into the hip hop game, right, or the rap game, and they have the same mindset, the thought process, right. So it's like when you were selling drugs, the flash, you have your robbers, you have your stick up kids, you have that's the same thing that's coming in hip hop. So it's people that's looking at these guys. So I think you never hear about Talib Kweli getting robbed. You never hear about somebody trying to shoot Mos Def. You know what I'm saying? Got like I'm saying and knocking on wood, but you don't hear about that. And it's kind of like, why does it seem like, you know, is the content and not just the flashiness of it? Is it, you know what I'm saying? You gotta just move better. People gotta just move better, you know?
I think that comes with you know, respect. I think people respect those guys enough to not, you know, try them like but I mean they don't make songs like these young guys anyway, but I think it's also respect too. I don't think you would hear about anybody trying to get at Nas or you know, you know what I'm saying? So I think it's with respect, man.
Yeah. Yo, it's cool getting old, fellas. Yo, all these rappers, everybody young. Yo, it's cool to get old. It's cool to be 80 years old on your rocking chair with your grandkids saying what you used to do. That's cool. Don't be, you know what I mean? You dying over nothing for the most part. You know what I'm saying? Nothing.
Couple stacks, right?
For real.
Yeah. At the end of the day, man, it ain't worth it at all.
Yep.
Word.
So TV, what you tapped into? What you watching? Like once you put the music down, then you need a break to kind of clear your mind.
Word.
What you watching on TV? What's some of your favorite joints?
Man, recently, man, I've been watching that One More Chance show, man. The dude, Chance, and remember the guys from
I Love New York.
Yeah. Chance and Real, the dude.
Yeah. The brothers.
Chance got a show.
Because Real passed away. Brother passed away.
Yeah. Passed away. Bro, this show is hilarious, man. Like my lady, we've been watching it or whatever, man. That joint is hilarious, man. I've been watching it a little bit. I watched Power with that song.
It's coming back soon.
December, I think.
Yeah.
I was watching The Walking Dead. Rick, once Rick died or whatever happened to him, I just stopped watching. You know what I'm saying?
That was your man.
I started watching the show. He been there all those seasons, man.
Word.
They killed him all. I was kind of like, all right. I ain't watched it since, but that. What else I be watching, man? I be watching a lot of older shows. Martin, Jamie Foxx show, Wayne's Brothers. My Wife and Kids.
Word,
You know, all those sitcoms.
Some real throwbacks.
Yeah, the comedy.
Those are good shows.
I love the comedy joints. I watch. I buy most of them though. Like I got the Chappelle show. I saw he ain't want his joint on Netflix no more.
Yeah, they pulled them off. They pulled them off.
I already had bought it on Prime, so I was like, I hope he got the money for that. You know what I'm saying?
I'm sure he did. His bag's in order.
I watch a lot of those older shows, man.
True.
So besides TV, what other hobbies do you do besides ball? I know you probably still play ball a little bit because everybody that play ball always still play ball. But besides playing ball, what other hobbies are you into?
Man, I'm sore right now, man. I didn't play the last couple of days, man. I had a massage gun earlier before we got on the call for my back. But I work out a lot. Like
Right.
if I flip the camera, you see I got a whole setup in here right now, weight bench and
Nice.
everything in this corner.
No doubt.
I work out. I like to travel, but it's kind of
Can't do that right now.
Yeah, I went to Houston though, like a couple weeks ago, just to get away for a little bit. Plan on going to Vegas next month, depending on how everything is going. That's pretty much it, man. I watch a lot of old movies. I just watch a lot of classics. And I just gather information on Twitter and the other social media platforms just for my content.
Yeah.
Well, for metaphors and stuff like that.
I know you from NC, so I gotta ask: do you fish?
I don't, man. My dad does. Like some of my friends do. I done it once.
Okay.
I did it once. Yeah, it was the first and last time.
Right.
I've been thinking
that's
about
another
doing
big
it,
stress reliever too, man.
But it's all about time. Like I never fished in my life. But people, it's like a all day thing. Though, like you can go out there. It's kind of like people, like people that play golf, right? They'll play 18 holes, but 18 holes can take 8 hours. So they playing 18 holes really to get their mind whatever else is going on. So they might be out at the golf spot for a whole day, and they get home at like 7, and then they all unwind. That's how fishing is. They say you're just sitting there waiting for it. It's all about time and talking to people and drinking or something like that, whatever.
What's some of your? Nah, go ahead.
I was about to say one of my best friends. He that's all he does. Like he go to work, get off, go fish.
Yep.
We play. I would say another hobby. I play the game, and I play on line a lot.
All right.
PS4, trying to make it PS5, man, but it's kind of rough right now.
It's kind of rough.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Thinking about going back to Xbox, man. They PS5. I don't know what Sony got going on right now, man.
Well, you know what they do, man? They only make a certain amount to keep the buzz going. They make
going.
That buzz is going.
I just missed one last night, man. I was trying to get it, had it in my card and everything, and they just when I tried to pay for it,
no
it was
sir,
loading forever. Yeah, man, it was loading forever, and then it said it was out of stock. I'm like, come on, man.
Yeah,
but we'll see, man. I'm gonna try to get one.
What's some albums that inspired you this year?
The whole director's cut.
Crazy.
The Rhapsody joint.
Mm-hmm.
I actually was listening to Nick Grant's EP a lot.
Yeah, he's dope, man.
Nick Grant is dope.
He's from South Carolina, right?
Yeah,
think so. Yeah.
It's one of the artists I want to work with too, man.
He's dope.
Yeah. I did listen to the Blue and Exile joint. I've been listening to all the Griselda guys and Shay Noir.
Shay album's crazy.
Yeah. 38. I've been listening to some of his joints. I'm looking forward to the ones he's about to put out too.
He got the 1995 joint, and he also got the with the Interstate
38.
Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah, they
I heard something. I heard something that was dope. Someone said that the pandemic brought back underground rap and put a stop to mainstream.
That's a fact.
So that's basically what they did. So if we got anything out of this, we got back to what I'm not gonna say everybody, but what we enjoy, because that a lot of stuff I'm hearing now reminds me of the 90s. I'm not saying I want to be back in the 90s. I'm not saying that, but the way people are rapping and what they're talking about, because you have different, everyone's being themselves. So everyone's telling their story. So they're telling their own story, and like you stated, J.Arrr, it's like I'm just saying what I feel, how I like, what I like putting it out there. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. And that's what I think people went away from, where it was like, let me make what you want to hear instead of what I want to hear. So I think a true artist makes music for themselves, and whoever jumps on that wave jumps on the wave.
Yeah.
It's not like they're not looking for the wave.
And to piggyback on that, when you say the mainstream, like people can't tour right now. So you have people in the studio literally making songs so people can dance, making songs that'll sound crazy.
Like anthems, like arenas and stuff like that. Yeah.
I don't want to hear that when I'm in my crib. I want to hear how people feeling. Like, I'm sad right now. Let me tap into somebody else's bag that might have something relative to me. I don't have a chain on in the crib right now.
That's why I feel like it's good for, it's been good for artists like myself and others or whatever who actually do like to make what we feel, because we ain't got nothing but time. You can sit and reflect on a lot and just it just flows like when I start writing anything these days, like it just flows. Like I never really dealt with writer's block or whatever. I don't really believe in that, but I only think people get that when they're not rapping about what they know, So so like I just having the time like we have now, and everybody pretty much in the house and you can't tour. It's been great for the underground.
Right.
Definitely. I remember Rand said something dope when we interviewed him during the summer. He was like, we asked him how you get better? It seems like you just got better over time. Like, this is crazy, right? He said, nah, I didn't get better. I just started looking at what was in front of me. So he said he basically started looking in and watching what was happening, meaning like news and seeing certain things. So how do you feel that process for you? Because I know it has been a progression, of course, since you started, and then to recently. So how have you seen yourself grow in that time?
I used to just write and not really. It would, I would put my experiences in the songs, or in the verses, but actually listening to Ransom maybe the last few years, and hearing that shift, something would happen and I hear him put it in a line, like in a bar. I'm like, yo, hold up, bro, this just happened, like this dude, you know what I'm saying, like he already got a line for it, and that kind of pushed me to start, checking from what they say. I don't really watch the news. I don't keep up with the politics and all that stuff, man. But I hear about it. You can't help but hear about it and see it, So, I see little stuff. I might do a little research on it, and I got some bars. Like I love like flipping names and stuff like that. And I watch battle rap. Well, I used to watch it more, but So I just try to make clever, lines from current events and stuff like that.
Yeah, and then the current bars, even on the Beautiful Graves joint, the Jonathan Isaac line.
Yeah,
that was just crazy.
When he sent me that back, I was like, yo, come on, bro.
So that, and then like when we had him on, it was right around when he was going to drop Director's Cut 3. But even like on the Hellraiser joint, the Todd Gurley line was just insane. Like, yo, like he literally just signed with the Falcons and he's like putting it out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
So the current bar is definitely dope, man. It's dope that you are inspired and staying tapped in, because the consumer likes to hear that. You know what I'm saying?
But do you think that the currentness of the music is because we're able to stream it so fast? So remember back in the day, you had to wait time to get stuff out. So you might say something, that's current at that time, but it's coming out a month, 2 months later, and it's not. So do you think that helps out too? So you kind of really literally, I can sit here and watch something and then go, all right, boom, put it in the bar, and then by 12 a.m. it's
put on SoundCloud.
It's like being able to upload your own, music and put it out for streaming immediately
in seconds.
That's great. Like the joint I just did, like with the Trump, I had a line about Trump and conceding, and he ain't conceded it yet, and all that. And like I said, I ain't really into the politics, but I was on another podcast, and they were talking about it, and I was just listening. I'm like, okay, so when I sat down to write it, it's like, all right, and it just flowed perfect.
Dope.
Like,
True.
All right, J.Arrr, we're gonna our final segment is a rapid fire section. So we're gonna ask you like a this or that or open ended question. So you ready to go?
Yep.
All right. So I know you worked with a lot of different producers, right? What's a producer you haven't worked with that you would a dream producer that for you to produce a full project for you? You could pick anybody. Like budget doesn't matter.
Ninth.
All right. Easy
All
enough.
Yep.
Home team.
Yeah, you can't beat that. All right. So since you play ball and you love ball, so who's the most underrated basketball player in your opinion ever?
Most
NBA.
Underrated?
Yeah, most underrated.
I said my boy, man, Jamal Crawford.
J. Crawford.
Jamal Crawford, man.
I think Crawford had like 50 points for 4 different teams. That stat is crazy.
From Michigan, you know.
Yeah, he was tough, man. All right, what's the dream feature that you haven't had? I know you said Ransom is one of your favorite rappers, but who's a dream feature that you could pick a feature?
Oh man, I would probably work with Kendrick or Cole, one of those guys. Like that's who I get compared to the most around here. Like I don't know why, but that's one of those guys.
Yeah, I can see it. I could definitely. I mean, you got your own lane, but you could certainly fit in with their subject matter for sure.
No doubt.
Yep.
So what's your all-time favorite movie?
Harlem Nights.
Harlem Nights. All right.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna ask. This is my last one. I'm gonna ask this one because I know you referenced it on your song. What's your favorite above the rim scene?
Yep, I'm gonna ask you right.
Okay. Oh man, favorite scene. Probably when Cal was playing Shep 1-on-1. And the second is when Shep showed up at the halftime with the corduroys and the
Corduroy and the mop neck.
Gave him like 30.
30, yeah, man.
Yo, I was saying the same thing. When I heard the reference to Boogaloo, when my man Pac say, "Yo, anybody told the Boogaloo again?" They all. I was like, "Yo, he took it back."
Man.
All right, so if you could have a dinner with 3 people, I'll give you 5 people. 5 people from history, present or past. Who would you include in that dinner? It could be family too. It could be anybody.
Oh, okay. Well, family, I would, my grandmother, both my grandmothers. Can they count as one?
Yeah,
got it.
I bet. So, okay, both my grandmothers. I want to sit down with James Baldwin, man.
Oh, that's dope.
Rihanna.
Yeah. Better keep that down, brother.
That's just some personal. Yeah, she got it. She already know about it. That's just a little personal thing. Who else? I would probably say Jay-Z.
Right.
Yeah, Walter Knowledge.
Sure. Yeah, man, because what he's done is phenomenal, man.
You got one more. Make it good.
One more. I'm trying to think of somebody influential to me. Athlete, Kobe, man.
Kobe.
He's definitely at my table.
Yeah.
Or it could have been Malcolm X.
I actually met Kobe. Yeah, I actually met him though. 2013. I played for. He coached my team.
Oh wow, that's amazing.
All-Star Weekend event. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. That's dope. Yo, that's a great 5, man. That's a great 5.
Yeah. Word. All right. Well, J.Arrr, you want to shout out any social media, anything you got going on?
You can follow my Twitter. It's J_DOT_ARRR. My IG is I_am_J. I_J_ARRR. I be forgetting them names, man.
I hear
that's pretty much it, man. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't know. I got Snapchat, but I don't really. That's just.
It's just there. I got you.
Yeah, it's personal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, man.
Keep something for myself.
Definitely appreciate your time, man. I'm excited about the stuff you said you got coming out. Definitely a fan of your music, so we're glad we're able to get you on. You had the Rain cosign, so I'm like, let me see. You dropped that beautiful Graves. I said, I need to see who this is.
I appreciate y'all, man.
Yeah.
I appreciate you, man, for tapping in. Stay safe out there, man. Keep doing what you're doing, man. Keep doing what you're doing.
All right, you can catch the Great Minds podcast on Apple, Spotify, SoundCloud, YouTube. Follow us on IG at the Great Minds Podcast, on Twitter at the Great Minds P1. Salute to J.Arrr, man. Artists, appreciate your time. Thank y'all for listening.
Great Minds Podcast. Great Minds Think Alike. Great Minds Podcast. Great Minds Think Alike. Great Minds Podcast. Great Minds Think Alike. Let's rock. You're now tuned into the Great Minds Podcast. 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 Derrick and Vaughn, oh boy, like Cam on a song. Culture safe now, thank God. The panic is gone. Time to heal from the pain. Take the bandages off. You gotta win. The stakes are high like a cannabis bomb. Okay, it's game time. Picture with the balls. That's a FaceTime. Great minds spreading faster than a rumor through the grapevine. Vaughn and Derrick deserve the merit. All salute. It's more than just a podcast show. It's like a movie. Vaughn and Derrick, what up? Great minds think alike. It's the Great Minds Podcast. Great minds think alike. It's the Great Minds Podcast. Great minds think alike. It's the Great Minds Podcast. Great minds think alike. You're now tuned into the Great Minds Podcast. You're now tuned into the Great Minds Podcast. You're now tuned into the Great Minds Podcast. You're now tuned into the Great Minds Podcast.